One thing I absolutely miss is going to plays and musicals, and it's one of my favorite pastimes is reading and going to the theater. And if we look at the Gospel of Mark, it's structured like a perfect play in 2 acts. At the end of the first act, we hear about Jesus with his disciples at Caesarea Philippi and asks them, "Who do people say that the Son of Man is?" And Peter rightly responds, "You are the Christ, the Son of the living God." Immediately after that, Jesus tells his disciples that he has to go to Jerusalem and be killed and die on a cross. And it seems like we should drop the curtain. The tension has been introduced. We've set the stage for the second act. And as the curtain comes up on the second act, we hear about the Transfiguration, this great hint of what's going to come at the very end of the story, this hint of glory before the resurrection. I think it's easy for us in our lives of faith to lose sight of those mini transfigurative moments, those moments when we have a glimpse of what's going to come, of the glory that is to come. And especially in these days, it seems like we've kind of trudging along in the midst of this pandemic, and maybe it's time for us to share our miracle stories, about the stories ways in which God has been at work in our lives, the ways in which God is still at work. And I think there's been a couple of those moments in my own life as a priest recently. Last Friday, I was able to go and bless the house of a couple that I prepared for marriage. And it's been a joy to see them grow and to see them get married and to have their first child. And now as they prepare to, and as they have their first house, their new house. And later in the afternoon on that same day, I got a call from a parishioner who wanted to donate something to the parish. And I met with him, and he said he just signed over the house papers for his house earlier that day. Here it was, the exact same house that I had blessed earlier in the day. God at work in both of these people's lives. God at work guiding them along the way. Or 3 weeks ago, I was able to go and celebrate marriage for a couple as the husband was nearing the end of his life. They had been together civilly married for almost 40 years, and they had been putting it off, but they wanted this for their marriage. So I was able to go there, to be there to celebrate that event with them, with their whole family gathered around them. A beautiful transfiguration moment. He passed away just 3 days later, and we were able to have a funeral mass for him. Or it's been amazing to see how the parish has grown, and in their own role as sort of dying to themselves and taking on this new role of St. Francis of Assisi Parish, and also embracing this new role as forming young priests and seminarians and deacons. I got to see that this summer, as parishioners would help guide and encourage and correct and offer words of advice to Deacon Ben. It's been great to see those little moments, and those moments in which God is already at work and still at work in the midst of difficult moments. So today, as you go through your day, look for those mini transfiguration moments, those moments that tell us that God is still present, that this is just the beginning of the second act.